The people who had arrived from the Caribbean, there were some who were approaching their pensionable age, some wanting to return, some wanting to stay. So that we have to really think, how do we care for our seniors in this community where culturally there has to be some adjustment?
Our picture initially was just having one large development in Birmingham that would cater for older people from mainly Caribbean background, not exclusively, but mainly. And then, of course, starting from provision for older people, we're getting interest from families and friends and young people. Well, what about us? We need housing too.
You had a group of influential church men and women that got together, mobilised themselves, organised themselves, and created what we now know as Nehemiah Housing Association.
It was our desire that Nehemiah should have a name that speaks for itself. It should deliver the highest quality of care. It should develop managers of the highest order. It should speak in the social context of the spiritual meaning that's behind it.
The very name Nehemiah, the prophet that built the walls of Jerusalem, he had to do the work of building with a trowel in one hand and a sword in the other hand, and work does feel like that sometimes.
It is our job to stay in touch with the hard to reach of our community, and we're there really not only picking up the pieces but actually creating the second chance, not just from a kind of one-dimensional housing approach.
It's not just providing them with a property, it's looking after them, safeguarding them, making sure that they're not in any difficulties, whether it's financial or anything like that.
We're unique in what we provide in terms of spiritual support. If they can't go to their local churches, they can have services where they are. So I think that's really, really important.
We have to recognise that at whatever stage we find them at in our interactions, there needs to be that level of respect. And if we respect them, 9 times out of 10, they respect us.
When you're out there speaking to the tenants in that, they're proud of the fact that we have a culturally relevant organisation that is actually flourishing, and it's been going for 30 years.
Social mobility and community cohesion is a part of our DNA. There are so many significant moments over the 30 years. The first one was the opening of the first scheme, Plummer House, by Paul Boateng, one of the first black MPs in the UK. And other significant moment was when we merged with the United Churches Housing Association. We've had a number of openings with people like Lenny Henry opening the Henry Court scheme in Dudley. Lenny has been a great supporter of Nehemiah. His mother was a tenant there. And we've got great moments of him coming and pulling the crowd.
I remember Henry Court being built in 2004 and meeting Lenny Henry. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
We acquired 118 properties in Wolverhampton, and one of the best things we did there, we actually held a fun day for the whole of the street. That really brought everybody together.
We also had the launch of Rebuild, a community initiative to provide training for unemployed people. And we also have the Nehemiah Academy for young people coming into the housing movement.
I believe that we've been successful because the vision of the founding members were good ones. They shared that vision. They passed it on to the people that would run the business on a day-to-day basis. What is wonderful particularly is that the original founding members are still involved, they're still friends.
It really tells a story of its own, that the thoughts that we had have come to life. Nehemiah reflects the diversity of our community as it now exists. And I do believe that it's a statement of what the British community really ought to be like. And we are a microcosm of that idea.
Achieving 30 years is no mean feat, and I think we should celebrate that. And so we started in January and culminated with a charity fundraising dinner for the West Indian Monument to be placed within the National Arboretum to mark the contribution that people of the Caribbean has actually made towards the two great world wars.
For the future to be successful, we have to remember how we started, because that keeps us grounded.
Working at Nehemiah has been an incredible experience. Without that brotherhood, without us working together in the way that we have, we couldn't have achieved what we've achieved.
We've got a great team of staff that makes it work. We also have a focused and determined board of directors, and we want to say thank you to our funders, to our Housing Association partners, and we really look forward to that success story continuing for another 30 years to come.
I wish that Nehemiah becomes an organization that grows and is relevant to people's lives.
It still resonates quite deeply with me to see our tenants on our walkabouts and hear them saying, thank you for what you've done for us. Even after all of this time, it makes me feel very honoured to be a part of this great movement that we call Nehemiah.